bold, and extremely fun. It's Sunrise with Craig Froenig right here on KCMX AM 880. Lively conversations around news, politics, and people, plus local news and weather every 30 minutes. We want to hear from you. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or go to kcmxam.com. Join in the conversation by calling 541-772-8255. Sunrise, where it matters what you think.
On a hot tin roof.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunrise Show, 7 minutes after the hour. Glad you are with us right here on KCMX News Talk 880. And the phone number to call in, 541-772-8255. You're going to want to be listening up for this because very excited to have on the phone with us Mark Weinstein, and he's the founder and CEO of Scruples.com. And we'll talk about that because it's group with a group in the middle with LES on the end and S in the front. But I tell you what, Mark, he's a visionary social networking pioneer. He's been leading privacy advocates, an award-winning author, and the founder of Scruples.com. But he also, as this visionary networking pioneer, he founded Superfamily.com and Superfriends.com, which were rated in PC Magazine top 100 sites. And this is back in 1998. He has been in the trenches for years and years. And Mark, it's such a pleasure to have you on the phone this morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am great, and this is just such a great topic, everybody. So, Craig, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Exactly right.
Talking about privacy, it's just fantastic. It's what we have to do.
Well, and, here's the thing. I want you to set the stage because everybody's been hearing the NSA, and, we on the show, we talk about the Constitution a lot, and there's a Fourth Amendment, and it is so simple and essential, and people have forgotten. Amendment 4, it says, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizure shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. I mean, how much more clear could that be? And yet we've got all the data mining that goes on, the Google ads, the Facebook things. But Mark, you told me a quote just a minute ago that gave me goosebumps related to what Mark Zuckerberg said. Tell our listeners what he said, quote, for that, related to Facebook and privacy.
In 2010, this is why everybody, so I'm one of the founders of social networking. I built one of the first social network platforms in 1998, and we were great. And this is before the MySpace, Facebook era. And then in 2010, Mark Zuckerberg said, we just changed the privacy policies for 350 million people. Privacy is a social norm of the past.
A social norm of the past. And so now, people just kind of went ho-hum or whatever, but one of the figures that you have related to that, most people, you say 90% of people they are aware of the privacy issues, they they want their privacy, but yet they don't do anything about it.
Well, part of it, Craig, is that we don't know exactly what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do? Where do I go besides Facebook? And, a lot of our listeners and their kids went to Snapchat to exchange pictures that were going to disappear in 10 seconds. But it turns out that Snapchat pictures don't disappear. And then a lot of people migrated to a company called Path, thinking that it was a private site. But Path got fined nearly $1 million by the Federal Trade Commission and put on probation for 20 years because they were spying on their members and scraping data and spying on kids. So people are a little cynical. Just this last week, Facebook introduced a feature called Nearby Friends, which on the face of it looks really cool. Now it's a location service, so I can know which of my Facebook friends are in the neighborhood or near me. I can find out where their locations are. But guess what Facebook's really doing? Facebook is gathering and tracking data on all of us, and these are data mining machines. They're spying machines, Facebook and Google, and every decision they make is based on how much data they can get on us so that they can market to us and sell our information.
It's amazing. And of course, you are a blogger for USA Today and the Huffington Post, and you've just put out articles in CNET and Forbes and everything else. And I love this phrase, ambassador of privacy by design. And so now what you've said is, let's give, and this is where Scruples, Scruples.com comes in, is let's make a site that is absolute, without question, privacy number one. So there is just simply, you've just left it alone and you're blocked. So this technology of blocking the big ones, the Google, the Facebook, the Yahoo, from getting in, explain that for our listeners. And then, of course, you like to play with this Grouples, because it's Grouples with an S on the beginning and an L-E-Y at the end. Tell us about that, Mark.
Okay, well, of course, now for our listeners with sharp ears, they know there's an English word called scruples, S-C-R-U-P-L-E-S, which means to do the right thing, to have integrity. So we started building the new company with, imagine the internet with scruples, and then we said, what a cool name, let's do a play on that word. So we put group in the middle, S-G-R-O-U-P-L-E-S, scruples.com. Now, we have a privacy bill of rights, Craig, right on our homepage. Now listen to this, everybody. You own your information and content, not us, because if you don't know it, Google owns your content, and Facebook owns your content, too, not just you. At Scruples, you own it. You control who can access it. Strangers can never see your stuff. Friends of friends can never see your stuff. You control everything. We don't track your likes and loves. We don't track you. Your face is your business. We don't use facial recognition technology. We don't spy on your contact list. They're your friends. They're not ours. So we start with the premise of respect and honoring people, just like we want to be respected and honored ourselves, and then we build the greatest social platform in the world to share photos and videos and discussions and documents and chat rooms and privacy mail with people you know in the real world.
Isn't that something that, and this is the terms of agreement, right? I mean, the fact, and with user agreements, along with all of the software, iTunes, I mean, you click on that user agreement and you have the use of it. They own all the rights, but you have the right to use it as long as you pay the fees. And go back to Google and Facebook, they have the content, right? It's their content. You own it. You're on their site. Therefore, they own all of it. Correct?
That's correct. And look, it's a little bit creepy and crazy.
It is.
What's happened is when we weren't paying attention, this whole idea and we've been brainwashed now to think, well, these companies need to spy on me in order to make money. Well, listen, everybody, that's not true. That's a bunch of malarkey. Did every company in the world need to spy on us to make money over all these years?
Isn't that something?
No, absolutely not. So, Scruples is a great revenue model. You've got, storage if you want to store your documents and photos and videos. You've got, an app store to get special apps like recipe book apps and Playdate apps. This is coming. We've got great features. You give people what they want that improves their life. Everybody's happy. A company makes money and stays in business.
Well, I love the fact that you have the cloud that's, secured, and also email as well. It's called, I'm logging in right now. It's called, what is it called, Mark? You call it something different.
Well, we have something called MyCloud. Now, listen. Now, I want to also let people know that I'm not against Facebook. There might be a few times a year where you want to post something publicly to the world, but our lives aren't public. So we let you post to Facebook from inside Scruples if you want. You can connect to Facebook with no advertisements from Facebook, and you can post something at the same time you're posting it privately at Scruples. If it's a picture you want to share with the world or share with your Facebook wall, because we realize that some people may need a little bit of time to wean themselves from Facebook. We have, in MyCloud, you can store everything at Scruples. We call it MyCloud.
Right, and then the privacy mail, that's what it's called. It's called privacy mail.
Right, privacy mail. It's not email, everybody. It's called privacy mail. So as long as you communicate with your contacts inside Scruples, and it stays inside Scruples, that's called privacy mail because it doesn't even get out to the outside world. So, because remember, your email companies, Yahoo and Gmail, and others, they're all spying on your email. They're analyzing everything in it. Google has a packet on people that you wouldn't believe.
Wouldn't it be
we're
something
being tracked
to see that?
so much, Craig.
Well, here's the thing. Have you ever seen, have you ever pulled up what Google or Facebook has, and that, the dossier, if you would, of just any particular person, it would be shocking. Why it would be...
Oh, yeah, listen, are you ready for this?
Oh, boy.
Okay. All right, check this out. So what does Google know? A Wall Street Journal reporter decided to ask, what does Google know, to look at their dossier on him. Google knows every word in his 134,966 emails that are either he received or wrote. They know about all his 2,702 contacts. They know all the 9,220 YouTube videos he's watched. They know the 64,019 Google searches he's ever done. They know his passwords. They know his documents. They know everything.
That is shocking. Mark, we've got to take a quick little break. I want to get to that. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Weinstein, we're going to have him on right back. He's the founder and CEO of Scruples. Scruples.com. It's group in the middle. It has that G in there, SGROUPLES.com. And I'll tell you what, fascinating stuff, especially when you realize we're on the grid, folks. So we'll be talking with that when we come back. Quick little break. Back after this.
Pre-programmed electronic disco. We never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft anymore. By the year 2006, the music known today as the blues will exist only in the classical records department of your local public library. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay tuned. Sunrise will return in a moment on KCMX News Talk 880. A little bold and extremely fun, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. on KCMX AM 880. Lively conversations around news, politics, and people, plus local news and weather every 30 minutes. Here's Craig.
The Blues Brothers.
I think it's 1 billion, roughly a little bit over 1 billion.
Good morning, everybody. 20 minutes after the hour, 46 degrees, going to be 55 today, and continuing with Mark Weinstein. And tell you what, this is shocking, folks. We just don't put the numbers into perspective and listen when we realize what is going on. Mark, thanks so much for being with us this morning. And he's the founder and president and CEO of Scruples. It's SGROUPLES.com, Scruples.com. And privacy by design. And I'm looking at this chart showing all the Facebook path, WhatsApp, Dropbox, Hootsuite. And when you look at permissions, no tracking, data kept from advertisers, ad-free option, hidden from Google search, news suggest context, and public search opt-out. Scruples has everyone checked on the privacy side, and the other ones simply don't. Facebook has permissions checked, and that's it. Mark, you had astounding facts. Tell our listeners again related to tracking that Facebook is involved with.
Okay, so the Wall Street Journal just reported this, so it's a very credible source. Elizabeth Dawson of the Wall Street Journal reported that of the 2,510 most popular sites in the United States, there are 1,205 where Facebook is tracking the activity of visitors. 1,205, everybody. So don't just think you're being tracked by Facebook at Facebook, and they have many more cookies than just theirs at Facebook. But Facebook also has the ability to track us at, really, if we just rounded off, 1,200 of the top 2,500 sites.
1,200 sites in the country that Facebook is watching. So if I go to, say, menssuits.com or anything like that, and it's one of the top sites, what are some of the top sites, 1,200 sites? I mean, if I go there, Facebook knows I went there?
Facebook knows because, Facebook has installed that like button all over the place, which gives them the opportunity, whether you click it or not, to have their cookies in place on these sites, tracking you and everything that you do. This is why Facebook has a lot of data on people who aren't their members also. It's really astounding. Now, the data brokers, Craig, in 60 Minutes just reported this. The data brokers in the United States, these are brokers who trade information about us, they have, on average, 1,500 points of data on over 200 million individual Americans. So, everybody, we've got to take our privacy back. We've got to start, it's take action, because this is what we can do. And, the Facebook era is coming to an end. The Facebook era, I'm calling 2004 to 2014. The Princeton University has predicted by 2017, Facebook will have lost 80% of their members start, and the fall-off starts in 2015, according to their prediction, and I think they're right. Take action, everybody. Move to sites like Scruples. That's Scrouples. Go to Scruples for your social networking. Connect with your family, your friends, your coworkers with privacy you trust. Have a great social experience, because the internet is great for communication.
Well, yeah, and it's free, and then if you want to get into you offer up to 1 gig, right, of free storage.
Well, actually, no, that's great. We have a gamification system where you can get up to 8 gigs of free storage at Scruples. Once you get set up, you create some groups, you invite your contacts over, you can get up to 8 gigabytes of free storage.
Wow.
We're free. It's called a freemium because we are proving to the world that you can make money and do the right thing online.
That's amazing. I'm just still dissecting the fact that Facebook is going to, they're predicting that it's going to slim down, that it's going to go away. And so you wonder what Mark Zuckerberg is thinking. 80% of the users by the year 2017 are going to go away?
Well, here's what he's thinking. Facebook just bought WhatsApp, 450 million users.
Right.
Now, WhatsApp was a really interesting little sort of encrypted texting communication platform, but now they're owned by Facebook, and now Facebook owns all their data. But Facebook is making moves. They bought Instagram a couple years ago. They bought WhatsApp right now.
Right.
They're being very aggressive, and they're moving into the corporate world.
So they're buying all these sites. So it's not really going to matter that Facebook goes away. They're going to have all these others. Now, you mentioned Snapchat, and I've got teenagers, and they are doing that Snapchat thing where the photograph on the phone, it goes for 3 seconds, and then it's gone, supposedly forever. Tell us about that quickly. What does it really go away?
I'm sorry to break the news to your kids if they don't know already, but Snapchat pictures don't disappear. This is well documented. You can hire somebody. I was just in Japan. Actually, they have an app that's $20 that'll find the Snapchat photos on your phone. In the United States, you find a forensic expert, pay them $100, and they can find all those pictures. They drop down into a hidden folder. Snapchat pictures don't disappear, everybody. Stop thinking that they do.
Now, so do they stay on the phone, or do they go as a text? And what about the phone that's receiving the Snapchat photos? What about those?
Well, that's actually where they also stay. They drop into a folder there. The disappearing technology isn't as simple as people thought. This is a trick. So it's just a visual trick. It's like a magician pretending to have done something when they didn't really do it. So Snapchat fooled everybody. I hope they get into a lot of trouble for this.
Wow. So, the photos are there. And it's a matter of interesting, and that's, of course, like you said, well documented as well.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, listen, I've written about this in Huffington Post. It's been covered in Forbes magazine, too. So, listen, we've just got to be wise about companies like Snapchat, companies that are started by, former Facebook executives. Don't think they're going to be private.
I love this quote, Mark. It says, "We live in exciting times where social media exists as a vital component of our communication and self-expression. That doesn't mean dehumanizing ourselves to the point that our personal identities become shopping aisles for others to purchase and governments to spy on and use according to their whims. Privacy or luxury item? No. It's a natural-born right. Some people call it a revolution. I call it common sense." I mean,
absolutely.
It's just... you wonder, and this is the part that, I do that. Americans, is it apathy? Is it laziness? Is they're just not thinking? Are they too busy? They don't want to get, I'll tell you what it is. It's fear. We talk about a lack of leadership in our country, a lack of leadership in the different aspects, whether it's community, business, neighborhood, family, politics. You don't see quality leaders stepping up, and the ones you do just get steamrolled by the mechanism. And you're thinking, you know what? No one's going to put their hat in the ring. No one wants to be pummeled and have their family threatened and their livelihood taken away from them. Am I correct or not?
Well, here's what I also think, Craig. I think that we just didn't know. Remember, Americans vote with our pocketbooks, and we also vote, in the voting booth. So it's time to vote with our pocketbooks here. And there's a really cool search engine company, so you don't have to use Google. You can use DuckDuckGo.com to do your searches because they're not spying or aggregating your searches. And you can use Scruples. It's time to vote with our pocketbook, and this is how change happens. So I think really, I don't think we're lazy. I think we just didn't know what to do, and we were stuck with Facebook. Well, we're no longer stuck with Facebook, so it's time to take action and let Facebook know what we think. It's time for a fresh start, and people are really tired of Facebook.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. You don't have anything against Facebook. It's the overall privacy thing, correct?
Absolutely. Listen, I actually like Facebook. I think what they did for the world was great. They opened it up. But the problem with Facebook and Google and companies like this is that I'm not the customer, I'm a product, and that's what I don't like. Their advertisers are their customers, so they're spying on me, and I don't like that, and they're aggregating data on me. They can predict how long my relationship is going to last. They know where my picture is anywhere on the web because of their facial recognition. This is creepy. This is wrong. I'm done with it.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. Well, Mark, we're out of time. Fascinating interview. I want to have you back. This would be just fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder and CEO of Scruples.com. You want to check it out. It's a free visit, and of course, it's just amazing. You'll spend hours on it. And Mark, thank you so much for your time this morning. I know you're incredibly busy, and I tell you what, welcome back anytime. This is just fascinating stuff.
Thank you, Craig. It's great to be here. Remember, everybody, practice safe sharing and have a great time online.
Excellent, excellent. Mark, take care. Have a great day and a great weekend. Oh, my, that's just fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a break coming up. We'll be back. News and weather is up next.
Stay tuned. Sunrise will return in a moment on KCMX News Talk 880.